This is the IEEE. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers is a worldwide professional society devoted to advancing the theory and application of electrotechnology. The IEEE's 37 specialized societies and councils further the diverse technical interests of more than 300,000 members in 150 countries. These interests range from computers, energy and telecommunications, to biomedical technology, transportation, and consumer electronics. The Institute traces its roots back more than a century to the American Institute of Electrical Engineers and the Institute of Radio Engineers. In 1963, the two joined to form the IEEE, the world's largest technical professional society, an organization greater than the sum of its parts. That synergy continues today as members worldwide come together in the IEEE to meet the technical and economic challenges of the 21st century.
IEEE is our professional society. It is an opportunity to meet and mingle and become friends with people in all phases of engineering, primarily electrical and computer engineering, but in related fields as well.
That it provides worldwide name recognition to engineers. It provides a forum for them to exchange ideas and play them back and forth off of each other, find out what's going on, what's being developed.
I learn quicker, better, and more efficiently through the IEEE transactions and conferences.
I think the major benefits are partly being informed day by day about the new results in science and technology.
It is very, very important for engineers to have a common ground and a common, not as much place, but feeling of family.
I cannot think of being an electrical engineer and not being a member of the IEEE.
There is no other professional organization in the world that covers electrical engineering. You should be a member of that just for that reason.
I usually have some kind of IEEE publication laying by my bedside all the time, so I do a lot of reading of the things that they produce.
The IEEE publishes 25% of the world's literature in electrical, electronics, and computer engineering and science. Nearly 100 periodicals are produced each month, and the IEEE Press is emerging as a major technical book publisher. Electronic access to all this literature is growing through CD-ROM and online networks.
I guess the biggest benefit has been the publications, being able to stay on top of what's going on in the field, not only locally, but across the country, across the world.
The IEEE spectrum is well used here. People, professors, refer to articles in that particular publication, and it's nice to have. I've had professors say, you know, if you want to learn more about this, there's a really great article in this issue, and I can just go back and look at it and learn a little bit more.
I find the Potentials, which is a magazine for IEEE students, to be very beneficial because they try to get the technical concept and put it in a little bit easy language for students who are beginning to have research done on certain fields to understand very well in the topics.
IEEE is the leader in terms of technical literature for electronic and electrical engineering literature in the world. And you know, if you want to keep up with what's going on in the field, that is the place to go.
I think what's most important now is that given that you have a limited number of conferences, that your time resources and your financial resources will accommodate, it's important to go to the conferences that are strongest. The IEEE has the strongest conferences.
Conferences are a major means of communicating information on leading-edge technology. The IEEE sponsors and co-sponsors more than 300 conferences worldwide each year. They are indispensable for keeping members at the top of their profession.
Conferences and participating technically through publications and presentations at conferences have been extremely important to me, both as a student and today in my technical career.
The conference today represent a forum to exchange ideas, not only with paper authors, but with people who attend the conferences for the same purposes, to be updated and to have the knowledge of the best technology in the world.
I believe an engineer who is not prepared to continue studying for the rest of his life should burn his certificate or burn his diploma. Engineering is a lifelong mission of learning.
Rapid advances in electrotechnology mean that engineering professionals must continually refresh their education to stay competitive. The Institute offers members tools for assessing their skills and managing their careers. This is supported by an integrated program of video tutorials and multimedia self-study courses. These are regularly updated to keep members at the forefront of technology.
In the 1960s, you could typically train an engineer once in their lifetime, and they could be creative for the rest of their life. But the way technology has been changing, you have to not only train new engineers, you have to continuously train an engineer throughout his lifespan.
One has to be prepared to re-educate, retrain, rethink. After all, the technology is moving so fast that to believe that in what you educated at college 30, 40 years ago is still going to be of value in technology terms today will be highly unlikely.
So what you need is to have somebody to give you in a capsule a very concentrated, very objective information where the technology is going and what are the resources you can have to your disposal. And it's there with IEEE, with their education programs, with their courses, with the videos, and with the distinguished lecturers coming down to each of the countries.
As an engineer, how do you assess your own skills? How do you know where you are relative to your field? And IEEE is trying to look at ways to give you a measure of these.
The IEEE can significantly impact business and really the globalization of business through standards.
IEEE is a world leader in standards development. Nearly 700 active IEEE standards benefit industry as well as the public. At any time, more than 30,000 volunteers are involved in developing and updating standards. To develop standards faster and increase worldwide participation, the IEEE designed the Standards Process Automation System. This computerized system is adaptable to the diverse needs and equipment of the worldwide standards community.
It's an opportunity for experts from around the world to get together and discuss common problems and come up with a world standard.
And in the standards committee that I am on specifically, that is IEEE 4, which is the High Voltage Testing Techniques subcommittee, we are bringing our standards documents in much closer alignment with the worldwide standards documents, so that equipment that is manufactured in Europe or equipment that's manufactured in the United States or methods that are used for testing equipment are pretty much uniform, so that this world economy, which is really happening, this global economy that's gradually emerging, is preceded by strong and well-founded standards.
It's a wonderful fraternity to join because you have access to a lot of knowledge, a lot of first-hand contacts. These people are bright, articulate, they come from all over the world.
Engineering careers do not exist in a vacuum. With increasing job volatility, personal networking is critical. The IEEE provides wide-ranging opportunities for a high level of interaction with other professionals.
The type of people that you meet in IEEE tend to be very interesting people who are dedicated to their work and who excel in what they do.
Well, I mean, there's all the obvious things of the publications and so forth, but I don't think that is even as an important way to keep up as being in contact with other professionals in the same and related industry. And IEEE brings people, electrical engineers, together locally and for national meetings and internationally as well.
It allows you to go transnational in your profession. You meet people in other countries. You learn from their experiences. You tell them about your experiences.
I found that maybe I had to change my career through no choice of my own, and I found the response from my colleague engineers in the society to be very supportive.
And that the best thing about networking, and one of the most exciting things about networking, is when that aha little light bulb turns on, because you're talking with other people and you basically begin to realize or begin to interact in a way that makes 1 + 1 more than the sum of that 1 + 1.
It's away from the classroom. It's a different world from the university environment, and IEEE gives you a little chance to peek into that.
Opportunities to be deeply involved in IEEE activities start early. In more than 800 IEEE student branches worldwide, students develop leadership skills that complement their engineering expertise. This gives them a competitive edge and builds a stronger profession as they enter the workforce.
Benefits of being in IEEE, there are many. I think for me, they primarily are technical in terms of how do you find out what's going on, who are the leaders in your particular field, and by getting the technical publications and then attending the conferences, you get to meet these people, put faces and personalities to go with the names.
Well, the advice I would give to undergraduates in the IEEE is to get involved as early as possible. It's a great way to meet faculty at your university, because the faculty realize how important IEEE is, and they're very involved.
Chances are a new graduate is not going to stay with the first company for life. They're going to be switching around so much. They may move into a different area of study altogether, and being a member of a professional society that covers such diverse topics in electrical engineering is invaluable to do that.
For students, one of the main benefits is becoming active in the organization and actually being able to display leadership skills and leadership interest early. And when companies see that type of ability and interest, I think a company will be more interested in promoting somebody who has already shown that level of enthusiasm for leadership.
I think this relates to what I actually think is the biggest benefit, at least personally to me, in being an IEEE member, and that is that there's the opportunity to be creative and to be a leader.
There is more to an engineering career than achieving technological expertise. Management and leadership experience can be crucial to success. Participating in IEEE volunteer activities gives members the extra edge.
Really, one of the things people don't realize with a volunteer, they say, oh, it's all that work, but in reality, the more you put in, the more you get out. And it's not sort of tangible things. You sort of get a sort of set of satisfaction that you have achieved things.
There can be some mentoring also. Some of the more experienced guys, they see the new people joining IEEE, and they can see that that's the way they were when they started.
The IEEE Medal of Honor, IEEE Fellows, Technical Society Awards, and others. These are international benchmarks of technological excellence and dedicated service. This recognition by the world's largest technical professional society raises the profile of engineering and stimulates its members to higher levels of achievement. The IEEE, it's an honor.